When you're facing a big problem or a decision in your life, have you ever thought, I'll sleep on that? Here's why that works. I've been tracking my sleep for 14 years and I've learned something fascinating. I'm sure you know that you spend about a third of your life asleep, but I've discovered that about 30% of that time I spent dreaming. That's roughly a full month every year spent in the world of dreams. And yet, most of us wake up, shake off these experiences and move on with our day. But here's the thing. Looking into your dreams is like standing at the edge of an ocean or gazing at a vast mountain range. It reminds you just how small your conscious mind is compared to the vast landscape inside of you. An intelligence that's quietly working things out while you sleep. We have that inner intelligence inside of us, and most of the time we are not aware of it. But when we dream, our dream gives us a glimpse into something really profound. It's like a peek into that deeper intelligence. So with all this time that we spend dreaming, why wouldn't we pay attention? Now I started paying closer attention to my dreams recently, using the methods of Carl Jung. And in this video, I want to share this fascinating process with you. And I'll share my special secret that will take your dream work to the next level, so stay tuned. Have you ever wondered why we dream? What those strange images and stories that play out in our minds while we sleep might mean? For centuries, humans have been fascinated by dreams. But it wasn't until Carl Jung's groundbreaking work that we began to truly understand their significance. Carl Jung was one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century, who revolutionized our understanding of dreams. His groundbreaking work showed that dreams weren't just random neural activity, but rather meaningful messages from our unconscious mind. So Jung discovered that dreams communicate through a personal, symbolic language, with each individual's unconscious mind creating its own unique symbolism based on their experiences, culture, and their inner world. So unlike approaches that treat dreams like universal puzzles with fixed solutions, Jung emphasized that dream interpretation must be deeply personal. What a symbol means to one person could mean something completely different to another. And today, I'll show you how to decode this language using Jung's methods. I'll share some really handy tips with you that I discovered while working with my dreams. But I'll warn you, once you start this work, you might get obsessed in a good way. So dreams are not what you think they are. Dreams are not literal. I can't emphasize this enough. If you dream that your teeth are falling out, it doesn't mean your teeth are actually going to fall out. It's symbolic. And if you dream about your boss yelling at you, it's probably not a prediction of tomorrow's meeting. The dream might be showing you how you're dealing with your own inner authority or ambitions. Or if you dream about your partner cheating, rather than jumping to conclusions about your relationship, it's asking you to consider what part of myself feels neglected or unfaithful. Maybe you're not being true to your own values or desires in some areas of your life. The mistake most people make is trying to interpret their dreams like a puzzle with a fixed answer. You can't just Google what does a snake mean in a dream and expect to get a useful answer. Carl Jung was very clear about this. Symbols are personal. A snake in your dream could mean something completely different than a snake in mine. The only way to figure it out is to use your own associations. And that's the first step in understanding your dreams. Learning their language. So your dreams show you three things. You are more than you think. There's an intelligence inside you that operates beyond your conscious mind. You're not just one thing. You contain multitudes, different parts of yourself that show up in dreams as different characters, symbols, or places. And you already know how to understand symbols. Your unconscious speaks in metaphors, and deep down, you get it. You just have to learn how to listen. And you'd think that since dreams come from you, you'd be the best person to interpret them, right? But here's the weird part. Even Carl Jung struggled to interpret his own dreams. Why is that? It's because dreams don't always tell you what you want to hear. They show you what you need to see. And so the ego, the part of you that likes feeling in control, hates that. It resists, it downplays, it wants to brush off the dream and move on. And that's why working with dreams takes patience. It's an intricate skill, and it starts with a simple but powerful process. Step 1, capture your dream. The moment you wake up, write your dream down. even if it's just a fragment. I use the voice memos on my phone. When I wake up, I turn on the voice memo, and then I roll back into the last sleeping position, and I let the dream come back to me and just say out loud what is happening in my mind's eye. That I find is the simplest way to record my dreams. The next step is to make associations. Your dream is full of symbols. Now, what's a symbol? A symbol is anything in your dream that carries meaning beyond its literal appearance. It could be an object, a person, a color, or even a feeling. So think of symbols as the vocabulary of your dream's language. They are how your unconscious mind communicates important messages to you. And again, symbols are not literal. I can't say that enough. It's more like your unconscious uses the images from your waking life to dress up the parts of your psyche that are acting out a play on the stage of your unconscious mind. They're like actors in costumes, if you will. So identify those images or those actors and write them down. And then go through each image and ask yourself, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Do I have any personal memories connected to this? Does this remind me of a common phrase or a metaphor? Like, what is my association with this image? So the key here is to catch your first thought, to not overanalyze. Just wait for it to click into place. It's a bit like mindfulness meditation. When you relax the mind and you simply notice your thoughts. So don't actively think, just notice what comes up. The next step is connecting this to your inner world. Every character, object, or setting in your dream is a part of you. So if you dream about someone you know, don't just assume the dream is about them. That would be a mistake. Ask yourself, what qualities does this person represent? And where do I see that in myself? And the more you turn the dream inward, the more insights you will find. So as an example, let's say you dream about your childhood friend, Sarah, who is always very creative and artistic. Now, instead of assuming your dream is literally about Sarah and reaching for the phone to reach out to her and get back in touch, ask yourself, what qualities do I associate with Sarah? Is it creativity, artistic expression, or freedom? And where in my life right now could I use more of these qualities? What part of me is like Sarah or wants to be more like her? So the dream might be showing you that your own creative side needs attention, or that you're yearning to express yourself more freely, just like Sarah used to do. And it gets better. Now here's something fascinating that Jung discovered. There's an even deeper layer beneath our personal unconscious. He called it the collective unconscious. It's like a vast reservoir of shared human experiences that we all inherit. Think of it like this. Just as our body inherits certain physical traits from our ancestors through our DNA, our psyche also inherits certain psychological patterns. And these show up in dreams as universal symbols, or what Jung calls archetypes. And that's because we're all part of a culture. We're all part of a zeitgeist. We watch movies, we grow up with stories, and all those stories actually have a place in our mind. Those stories act out in our minds and in our lives. So you might dream of a wise old person giving you advice, or a child showing you how to play again, or a hero facing a dragon. And these aren't just random characters. They're ancient patterns that have appeared in myths and stories across all cultures throughout history and have been passed on to you today unconsciously. And when these archetypal figures show up in your dreams, they're often bringing profound wisdom from this deeper layer of the psyche. They're not just personal, they're connecting you to a shared human experience. But here's the key. Even though these symbols are universal, how they appear and what they mean to you is still deeply personal. The collective unconscious speaks through your personal symbolic language. Now, take a step back and look at the whole dream. See if you can analyze it like you would analyze a movie or a book. Think about, what's the central message here? Is the dream showing me something new? Like, what action is it asking me to take? And the best interpretations don't just confirm what you already know. They challenge you to see something different. And what's really going on here is that we are lifting the lid on what's actually driving your behavior. We're looking at the inner workings of your unconscious mind, the parts of you that really run the show. So interpret your dream like you would interpret a machine when you see the cogs turning. What are the causes of the results you're seeing in your life? What are the stories, the beliefs, and the desires at play? That's why this is so interesting and so personal. And once you get the message, and if you're brutally honest with yourself, you will probably see something that you want to change in your life. And it's crucial to transform this insight into action. And a good way to do this is through a ritual. Now, a ritual is more than just a symbolic gesture. It's a bridge between insight and change. When you perform a ritual with clear intention, you're creating a physical anchor that helps your conscious mind integrate the dream's wisdom and feed new information back into your unconscious. So a good ritual is a small, discrete gesture that is easy. It should be simple and require minimal effort, preparation, or special conditions, making it easy to integrate into your daily routine without resistance or excuses. It should be subtle, so no grand gestures. The action should be understated and personal, focusing on internal significance rather than an external display or dramatic demonstrations. And it should be solitary, so not requiring anyone to do anything. The ritual must be completely self-contained and independent, allowing you to maintain full control over your practice without relying on others' availability or cooperation. So here's some examples. If you dreamt about feeling stuck and you want to get unstuck, maybe go for a 10-minute walk into a new direction that you've never taken before. Or if your dream highlighted a relationship issue, write a thoughtful message to that person instead of avoiding them. You don't need to send it. It's about planting a seed in your unconscious mind that can grow into larger action that moves you into the right direction. If your dream revealed a fear, take one small step today, like signing up for a class or making that appointment you've been postponing. So the power lies not in the action itself, but in your conscious intention to make the dream's message tangible in your daily life. So each time you perform the ritual, you're reinforcing neural pathways that support real transformation. Now here's a few tips. If you struggle to remember your dreams, set an intention before bed that I will remember my dreams. I really want it. And then keep a journal by your bed and write down anything that you recall. Or keep your voice memo by your bed and don't look at your phone, just put it on your home screen and hit record. And over time, you will start remembering more. It's actually really quick. Also share your dreams with other people. And that's why it's good to do this in a group. It's actually one of the most intimate things you can share with someone is your dreams, because you're really sharing the inner workings of your psyche, of your unconscious mind. And it's crazy what's going on in there. And I've got one more. You know what's fascinating? Even Carl Jung, the master of dream interpretation, struggled to interpret his own dreams. Now think about that for a moment. The person who literally wrote the book on understanding dreams found it challenging to analyze his own. Why is that? Because our ego gets in the way. It's like trying to be your own therapist. There are blind spots that you just can't see clearly. But here's the exciting part. We're living in an age where AI can help us navigate these blind spots. Not by telling us what our dreams mean, that would miss the point entirely, but by guiding us through the process of discovery. It's like having a neutral third party that helps us stay objective and focused. AI doesn't replace the deeply personal work of dream interpretation. Instead, it creates a structured space for us to explore our inner world more effectively. It's like having a meditation app. The app doesn't meditate for you, but it makes the practice more accessible and consistent. And that's why I've created an AI-powered dream interpretation template that guides you through the whole process step by step. It helps take the pressure off so that you can focus on what actually matters, connecting with your dreams and making sense of them in your own way.
I love it because I love exploring Carl Jung, but it gives me a full framework. I just have to show up and answer as honest as possible. I love it. It's quick. The interface is easy.
It's given me this incredible view into my unconscious that I wouldn't have had otherwise, and being able to look at dreams in a whole different way.
It's really exciting because it really does enable like a wealth of knowledge that we would never have access to, you know, unless we paid $500 per therapy session with a very experienced Jungian analyst, right? So it really does kind of democratize the knowledge.
I'm somebody that's generally resistant to AI. However, I found this so helpful that I will use it. It's the only AI that I use in my life, period.
You can check it out in the description below. Now, you've lived with yourself your entire life, but how well do you really know yourself? Tonight, before sleep, set an intention. I will remember my dreams. And when you wake up, write them down or record them on your voice memo, because hidden in those strange, beautiful images is something powerful. It's a message from the deeper intelligence within you. And now it's over to you. What's the most memorable dream you've ever had? Have you analyzed your dreams? Have you tried a dream dictionary? How did you go with that? Have you tried the Jungian approach? I'd love to hear about it. So let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, then like, subscribe, all the rest of it. I hope you get as obsessed with this as I am, because it is truly life-changing. Thank you so much, and I see you soon.